Somebody appears to have access to the playable version of GTA 6. They have been releasing footage from what is arguably the most anticipated video game of all time, while Rockstar and Take-Two tried to remove it and uncover who is responsible. But that isn't even where this story gets really strange. Before any of this footage was released publicly, a cryptocurrency had already been created on the Solana blockchain. The leaked videos then appeared carrying CyberLeek branding and QR codes directing people towards that token. Now, the anonymous person or group behind it claimed to have permanently destroyed more than $1 million worth of its own tokens to prove that this isn't simply a cash grab. The worlds of gaming, hacking and cryptocurrency have somehow collided, and this may be one of the wildest crypto launches we have ever seen. So let's separate what we know from what is still being claimed and ask the obvious question. Is this a digital rights campaign, or an elaborate crypto scheme, or a mixture of both? Quickly, before we get into it, if you enjoy stories just like this, where cryptocurrency collides with the wider world, make sure you check out the UK Crypto Podcast with myself and Paula Talks Crypto. New episodes are released every Friday, 7 p.m. UK time, and you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and now Facebook. Right. Let's start with this GTA 6 story. It's difficult to overstate just how enormous this game is. GTA 5 was released back in 2013 as reportedly generated more than $8 billion US. We have waited for around 13 years for the next main installment, and almost every piece of information connected to GTA 6 becomes global gaming news. Rockstar has spent years controlling exactly what the public sees and when they see it. That is vital when you are building towards what could be one of the largest entertainment launches in history. Then on the 18th of August, an anonymous person or group using the name CyberLeek began releasing footage that appeared to show GTA 6 gameplay. Initially, people questioned whether it was genuine. With artificial intelligence, fan-made footage, fake gaming leaks everywhere, the skepticism was reasonable. However, the videos were quickly hit with copyright takedowns. More importantly, one of the later clips reportedly showed the player controlling Jason and using a bullet holes to spell the word leak into the wall. That suggests CyberLeek didn't merely find some pre-recorded videos. Somebody appears to have or previously had interactive access to a playable GTA 6 build. One clip also reportedly contained a song released in January 2025, playing an in-game radio suggesting the build may be relatively recent, but access to a playable build does not prove that CyberLeek possesses the complete finished game. We don't know how extensive this is, how it was obtained, whether they still control it, or whether somebody else is supplying the footage. What we can reasonably say is that the footage appears convincing. The takedowns have been extremely aggressive, and somebody seems capable of producing customized gameplay that the public was never meant to see. CyberLeek says this isn't being done simply for attention. They published what they called the CyberLeek Edict. Essentially, it's a manifesto aimed at what they believe are anti-consumer practices inside the gaming industry. And it contains three main demands. First, they want an end to digital pre-orders because their argument is that digital game cannot sell out. So consumers are being persuaded to hand over money before a game has been released or independently reviewed, despite there being no shortage of the copies. Second, they oppose publishers charging players to unlock single-player content that is already contained inside the game files that they've purchased. And third, they want games containing single-player content to include an offline fallback. In other words, if a company eventually switches off its servers, the parts of the game that could work offline should remain available to the people that paid for them. Whether you agree with every demand or not, these aren't completely invented problems. Digital ownership, game preservation, and the disappearance of physical media are all genuine debates. But supporting a general principle does not mean you have to support CyberLeek's methods. Even the Stop Killing Games campaign, which shares some of the same concerns around preservation, publicly distanced itself from the leaks and reportedly told people not to send CyberLeek money. And that brings us to the cryptocurrency, because the blockchain changes how this entire story looks. The token existed before the leaks, and an on-chain investigation published by BitQuery reconstructed the timeline. CyberLeek's online infrastructure was reportedly being assembled on the 14th of August. The cryptocurrency began trading on the 15th of August, and an estimated fully diluted valuation of around $55,000 US. For approximately 68 hours, trading activity was tiny and hardly anybody knew the token existed. Then on the 18th of August, the GTA 6 footage appeared. The videos reportedly carried a QR code promoting the website and the cryptocurrency. According to the analysis, the first major trading candle moved approximately 13 times on around 1.47 million US dollars of volume. And this completely changes the order of the story. It doesn't appear that a random cryptocurrency was launched after the GTA 6 leak had already gone viral. The branding, website, token, and blockchain infrastructure were apparently in position beforehand. The leak was the launch for the campaign for the token. CyberLeek hasn't hidden this relationship. Token holders have reportedly voted on which gameplay should be released next, while messages connecting a higher market cap with additional leaks turned GTA 6 footage into an incentive for trading. Instead of launching a meme coin using a celebrity's face or a cartoon animal, somebody appears to have used unreleased footage from one of the most valuable entertainment properties in the world. But it also means ordinary buyers need to be extremely careful. BitQuery found that the 5 wallets with the largest realized profits entered within the same 6-minute window and collectively realized approximately $158,000. It did not connect them to the token's creator. Several appeared to be automated trading systems. Before retail investors see the headlines rush towards the chart, automated traders and early wallets may already be using their excitement as exit liquidity. This is not me telling anybody to purchase it. This is an enormous and extremely volatile meme coin connected to alleged criminal activity. I'm covering this story and blockchain activity, not encouraging people to gamble on it. If it isn't about the money, why is everything being monetized? CyberLeek insists this is not a cash grab and claims the money is intended to support a secret project connected to digital rights. The obvious problem for me is that almost every stage of the operation appears to monetize the attention created by GTA 6 leaks. There is the token itself. There is the trading activity potentially generating fees. There is token-based voting tied to future content. And there is now the extraordinary report that CyberLeek is offering advertising inside future GTA 6 footage. According to reports, potential advertisers were being asked to pay a contact fee of 400 Monero, worth approximately 165,000 US dollars. And that's simply to guarantee a response and begin discussing a deal. Not $165,000 for a completed advertisement, around 165,000 US dollars to start a conversation. CyberLeek apparently says this is not a ransom because companies are not being asked to pay to prevent leaks. Instead, the group describes it as community support and strategic partnerships. Legally and morally, calling something a strategic partnership does not magically solve the problem of selling advertising inside footage you do not own from a game you were never authorized to access. And while all of this was happening, people continued to question whether the large token allocation controlled by the developers could eventually be dumped onto buyers. CyberLeek then responded in the most dramatic way possible. Approximately 270 million CyberLeek tokens, which is around 27% of the original 1 billion token supply, were permanently burned. And the quoted price, that the allocation was reportedly valued at more than 1 million US dollars, with some estimates closer to 1.5 million US dollars. On the blockchain, the important part is real. Those tokens have been removed from circulation. The available supply has fallen to approximately 730 million, and that particular developer allocation can no longer be sold onto the market. This is meaningful, but the headline needs context. CyberLeek did not take $1 million from a bank account and destroy it. These were self-issued tokens with a paper value based on the price traders were paying for much smaller quantities. A wallet displaying $1 million also doesn't mean the full allocation could have been sold for that amount. Dumping 270 million tokens into a limited liquidity would have crushed the price. What CyberLeek generally has surrendered was the future ability to sell that enormous allocation gradually or use it in another way. But burns are also powerful marketing. Destroying 20% of the supply creates scarcity, removes a major fear from buyers, and can increase the perceived value of what remains. Following the burn and renewed attention, the price has exploded. When I checked, the token at one point had risen approximately 1,000% across 24 hours, and an $18 million market cap and reported volume approaching 90 million US dollars. Those figures may have changed substantially by the time you watch this, because it's happening so fast. So does burning the developer allocation prove that CyberLeek cannot perform a traditional dump using those 270 million tokens? Yes, it does. Does it prove the entire operation has nothing to do with money? No, absolutely not. The cryptocurrency still transforms every new leak, headline, and legal development into attention, trading activity, and potential revenue elsewhere in the operation. Meanwhile, Take-Two is no longer relying only on copyright takedowns. On the 20th of August, it filed legal requests seeking information from Microsoft and Discord that could help uncover the identity of the person or people behind CyberLeek. The requested information reportedly includes account records, email addresses, IP information, device identifiers, and linked accounts. The companies were given a deadline of the 4th of September to respond. Microsoft has also said it is working closely with Take-Two and Rockstar to support efforts to protect creative work and intellectual property. CyberLeek may currently appear confident, but every website, wallet transaction, messaging account, and interaction potentially creates another piece of evidence. A public blockchain is excellent for proving that a token burn happened, but permanent financial records can also become extremely useful to investigators. The 2022 GTA 6 hacker caused Rockstar an estimated $5 million in recovered costs and thousands of hours of staff time. Anyone repeating that kind of attack should expect extremely serious response from Rockstar. My honest view is that CyberLeek can have legitimate concerns around digital ownership, offline access, and game preservation. Those subjects deserve a serious conversation. But the cryptocurrency, the website, the branding, and leaked footage appear to form one coordinated operation. The token existed first. The GTA 6 material appeared to have created demand around it. Burning 27% of the supply is substantial and verifiable, but it does not erase the advertising offers, the trading incentives, the potential fees, or the fact the stolen intellectual property appears to drive the entire economy. This is why I find this story so fascinating. It is a perfect example of what cryptocurrency makes possible. Anonymous global fundraising, publicly visible money flows, instant speculation, and permanent evidence. All playing out while one of the world's largest gaming companies attempts to regain control of its biggest release. So now I want your opinion. Is CyberLeek a digital rights activist prepared to risk everything for a cause? Is this one of the most elaborate meme coin marketing operations we have ever witnessed? Or is it simply a criminal exploitation dressed up in a manifesto? Or is CyberLeek somehow all three of these mixed together? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to the channel because this story is moving quickly and I suspect we are still a long way from the final chapter.